Welcome to the Working Hour with Mike and Shane. I'm Mike. Across from the table from me is my co-host, best friend Shane. Shane, go ahead and introduce the album we're doing this week that you chose, and then I'll elaborate a little bit on my bonus track, and then we'll get started.
So this week we are doing the album Disintegration by The Cure, with a runtime of 72 minutes, released on May 2nd of 1989 by Fiction Records, and is the 8th studio album by The Cure. The genre is gothic rock, dream pop, post-punk, and alternative rock. The singles include Lullaby, Fascination Street, Love Song, and Pictures of You. The album marks a return to the introspective gothic rock style the band had established in the early 1980s. As he neared the age of 30, vocalist and guitarist Robert Smith had felt an increased pressure to follow up the band's pop success with a more enduring work. This, coupled with a distaste for the group's newfound popularity, caused Smith to lapse back into the use of hallucinogenic drugs, the effects of which had a strong influence on the production of the album. The album in 2020 made the number 116 spot on the Rolling Stones 500 Greatest Albums of All Time. So, do you have anything else to add?
Just on a personal note, I first came in contact with The Cure back in the day. I think I told you this story about how I was at my cousin's house, my aunt's.
Okay.
I was using their computer to download some music on my MP3 player back in the days of this was BearShare, LimeWire.
Yeah.
What was the big one? Napster, I think,
Napster,
even.
Yeah.
All the shit that doesn't
Social
probably,
network.
yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. And I was like, whatever you got, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there's some pictures of you was on there, and it was my aunt, I'm assuming, was the one that, because my uncle didn't really do anything like that. And it wouldn't have been anybody else, but because that's her time period, she would have been a teenager, probably 20s by then. But it took me forever to listen to pictures of you, and then when I finally did, I was like, that's good, but it's not really my cup of tea.
Sure.
But it is good. But I was 12,
Right.
But
The palette isn't really ready for all of that.
yeah. So,
Okay.
that's all I have. Just little backstory and my introduction to The Cure.
Right on. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, take us to track one.
Track one, we have Plain Song, coming in at 5 minutes and 17 seconds. First track off the album is actually my introduction to the album. Not from listening to the album, but from the Ant-Man movie from 2015.
I was going to say, wouldn't that just be funny? If it's my intro, it's bro, it's everybody's introduction.
Yeah.
But it's from the 2015 Ant-Man.
Yeah.
That's neat.
I've shared it to you before, I'm sure, but
the scene that it's from?
Yeah. Where they're he's fighting in the briefcase and they're flying through the sky and he's
yeah, he's really tiny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
He's fighting another really tiny guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna disintegrate you. He's playing Disintegration by The Cure.
Yes.
And then this song just comes on.
I remember that, yeah. That was actually a pretty cool scene.
And I remember seeing that and I was like, this music's really good. I like this. And I went back to see it a second time so that I could record that scene with my phone. So yeah. Quiet opening to the song though, with no music, as some wind chimes come in before this just massive wall of sound hits 24 seconds in. It's very beautiful and kind of celebratory in its sound, between the synth and the drums. At 1:31, some distorted guitar rings out, and we get some twinkling that comes crashing in. It's about 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. We finally get some vocals. The vocals echo and repeat in this very psychedelic and serene delivery. Sometimes you would make me feel like I'm living at the edge of the world. Like I'm living at the edge of the world. It's just the way I smile, you said. And at 3:42, the lyrics and vocals conclude. Then it's just full instrumentation through until the end of the song. There isn't a ton to be said about the song, with its limited lyrics and somewhat repetitive music. The last 15 or so seconds, the music kind of drags out with a very pretty ending. Despite limited notes on the song, I think it's very pretty, and it's really epic in its soundscape. Hearing that psychedelics played a role in the making of this album, it makes a lot of sense. I'm yeah, that checks out.
It's very floaty.
Yeah. very ethereal, atmospheric, all of that. Listening to this made me want to listen to more of The Cure, and it's one of my favorites by them. I gave this a 4 out of 5.
Okay. All right. You think that being kind of a higher score is because it was kind of your introductory?
Sure.
Yeah, that story does make it a little bit more special. I could see. I didn't go quite as high, but yeah, I thought the wind chimes on the intro was interesting. Like we've covered some stuff before with similar sounds, but this was like that makes me feel like I'm sitting on my porch with the wind chimes going. It was very like natural. And then that pop of percussion really like breaks out into a beautiful symphony of sounds. By the 1 minute mark, I thought the track was really picking up momentum. It's a really pretty song. It's very musical heavy on the intro, but it's nice. There's a lot of kind of like electric synth sounding. It does sound a little artificial, but it's still good. Like I have no gripes with it. Around the 1 minute 31 mark, minute and a half mark, there's some plucking of the guitar that really takes center stage over the main riff that has been playing the majority of the track. The guitar kind of adds a nice touch, makes the track a little bit more dreamy sounding. Very floaty, like you were saying. I didn't really know until actually today I was reading some stuff and it mentioned the Robert Smith's like drug filled, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it kind of playing in the album. And I don't know, I never really connected the two before I read that, but it definitely makes sense as you were saying. The vocals finally appear around the 2 minute 40 mark. Kind of catches me off guard because it was so long, and going into this blind, I really thought this could be an instrumental, and I was honestly kind of okay with that because it is such a nice instrumental. But that first verse, I think it's dark and it looks like rain, you said, and the wind is blowing like it's the end of the world, you said, and it's so cold. It's like the cold if you were dead. I don't know. That's a very interesting. I don't know if you've ever like been at a funeral and you like go up and
cold.
Yeah, dude, it's really weird. I haven't done that since like forever.
Like, oh, never
don't think
again.
I will. Yeah, I don't know. Last funeral I went to, I had to go. It's weird going to seeing the dead body.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is some real echo effects on Smith's vocals, and it's kind of utilized a lot through the track. I really think it adds a little bit of character to it. Bless you.
Thank you.
I wondered. I was like, "You doing something over there?" I don't know. I was just reading off my screen, but I knew there's some.
He's dying over there.
Yeah, there's some distress over there. Track really doesn't have a lot of lyrics, as Shane kind of elaborated on, which is something I'm usually kind of critical of, but here it kind of works. The long instrumental kind of just balances it. And like I said, I really thought this was going to be a full instrumental track, and I was totally okay with this. This track was 100% new to me, and it's an example of why I like doing the show with you. More often than not on the albums that you pick, I'm like, I don't know what I'm in for at all, and I end up finding something good. And this was a good one. My closing thoughts are plain song, more like okay song. I gave it a 3.6, so not crazy high on it, but I feel like I could go a little higher because it is.
I was gonna say it's good enough to make like the like song cut off. I feel like
It didn't for me, but
okay.
it might now that I'm listening to it again, and it's been a while too since we've recorded.
Yeah.
Listeners might not know that, but it has been. So it's been a minute since I've actually thrown this on and really gave it a good listen. Moving on to track number 2, the one that I was most familiar with, Pictures of You, with a lengthy runtime of 7 minutes, 28 seconds. And I was going to I have it in my notes here, the story that I told at the beginning. But a lot of people can consider, not a lot of people, but Vice described this album, the first 2 tracks, as a 1-2 punch. As like ever recorded, because there's such good like instrumentals back to back, and I really do kind of agree with that. Not so much instrumentals, but lengthy instrumental intros. So let me see, where was I at here? In 2011, the song was voted number 283 on Rolling Stone's the 500 greatest songs of all time, which I could totally see. It is a good song. Like I said, even 12-year-old me was like, "This is good." It's just not really 100%. My cup of tea. So this actually, I think I told you about it. The inspiration for the song came about when a fire broke out in lead singer's house, Robert Smith's house. Later that day, Smith was like going through the remains and came across his wallet, which had pictures of his wife, Mary. That's the cover of the single, is one of those pictures. I'm pretty sure might be the cover on the album too. I think that's kind of what it looks like because it just looks like a woman's face. Once I kind of learned the inspiration behind the song, it definitely made the song a little bit better, just because there's a little bit more emotion to it, and I just couldn't imagine having a fire, and I don't know, I feel like that would be kind of surreal to like see a picture like that. The opening verse I thought is pretty iconic. I've been looking so long at these pictures of you that I almost believe that they're real. I've been living so long with my pictures of you that I almost believe the pictures are all I can feel. Doesn't really relate to the fire or anything like that, but I don't know. I feel like that's I think because this song was like my introduction song, I've always kind of like hung my hat on that opening lyric.
Yeah.
It's very catchy. I don't think the lyrics are like that crafty, kind of like just more elaborating on what I just said. It's pretty simple and it passes without hesitation. Smith's his vocal delivery and the emotion he provides with that is really good. And like I said, finding out that it was actually personal kind of made the song a little bit better. Smith's vocals are a little bit different here. They don't really have the echo effect. That was kind of more found in track 1. This is the song that I think of when I think of The Cure, though. Love it or hate it. That's kind of just the only song I really know. Overall, it's a solid track, even with the inspiration coming from a fire and loss. The song carries a sad but positive, reinforced vibe to it. I didn't really find this track very dark.
No.
I know we were kind of talking about it, just the album in general before. This one I didn't really find dark. It's kind of just like so vibe feeling. I gave this a 3.8.
Okay. So I got this album hits you with a solid 1-2 punch to open between Plain Song and this. The Twinkling comes in and sets off the song, immediately followed up by drums, guitar, and bass. The Twinkling sound, it comes back, escalating the song as the instrumentation changes up at like the 45-second mark, and again at 1:30, and again throughout the rest of the song, really. I like it being used in that way. I think it's kind of unique to just kind of like move the song along to like the next phase of instrumentation. It's like, oh, it's interesting. Like the twinkling will hit, and it's like you're getting ready to hit the chorus. Twinkling comes in to end the chorus and to the bridge and all of that. It's just
the bridge.
Took us to the bridge.
What is that from?
Sexy Back.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, right before 2 minutes, Robert Smith comes in. And I did get the line, I've been living so long with my pictures of you that I must believe that pictures are all I can feel. The drums hit with a solid thwack, and there's a metallic distortion to the guitar that rings out. I love on the next verse the delivery and writing of, hold for the last time, then slip away quietly, open my eyes, but I never see anything. If only I'd thought of the right words, I could have held onto your heart. Robert really just belts this out. It's pretty captivating. At 4:54, the guitar comes in loud alongside some faint vocals with the the next verse. The next verse is like kind of quiet and reserved in its delivery before popping at the 6-minute mark with the oh. With a musical breakdown, there is nothing in the world that I ever wanted more than to feel, to never feel the breaking apart my pictures of you. The twinkling hits again, taking us into the instrumentation to close out the song for the last 40 seconds as the beat echoes for about the last 10 seconds. These first 2 tracks had some pretty big highs, feeling more positive. At least compared to some of their other work.
Yeah, it's definitely I don't think they're upbeat and positive, but they're definitely you can associate them with that because they're not negative. They're not mono.
It's not as dreary.
No, not at all. I can find light in them, I guess is what we're trying to say.
Yeah. This is another top song by them to me. I give this a 4.1 out of 5.
That's respectable.
And I do like this album was heavily influenced by his use of hallucinogenic drugs, because you think of someone taking LSD or what have you, and just it's kind of oh, what kind of headspace are you in? And it's yeah, I could totally see Robert Smith taken something and like this is what he made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he does do guitars, vocals, keyboards, bass. Like he does quite a bit of instruments too.
God damn.
On the album. Yeah, I wrote that down because I thought that was noteworthy.
Yeah. On to track number 3. We have Close Down coming in at 4 minutes and 18 seconds. This song has a bit of a darker tone to it, coming in right away between this like distorted like bass guitar and rapid drumming. 40 seconds in, the synth comes in with a very spacey sound. Around a minute in, the guitar gets layered in as the bass becomes more in the background before becoming more present after about 40 seconds. At 2:03, we get a crash from the cymbals as Robert comes in on vocals. I do notice that like they take their time, like, and I appreciate that they're like, no, we know, we're gonna do our thing.
All right, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Enjoy the ride.
Don't rush it.
Well, when you're tripping, I feel like there's not a really sense of time.
Sure.
Everything kind of slows down.
Good point. But yeah, whenever his vocals come in, they like sync up really well with like the drums and the bass. Crazy how it's almost halfway point of the song before the vocals hit.
Yeah.
And it's only one verse. That's the thing. Like I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna take all the lyrics.
No, I actually copied everything because I was like, well, whatever's left over.
Yeah.
I hereby do declare.
I put, and uselessly always the need to feel again, the real belief of something more than mockery. If only I could fill my heart with love.
My heart with love. I like that.
Yeah.
Fill my heart with love. I respect that.
Respect that too. The synth comes back in, coming off the verse as the bass line stays steady. At 3:25, there is some like back and forth interplay between the synth and the guitar for about 20 seconds before the synth rings out for the last like 15 seconds of the song. The song never really made that much of an impact on me before, but I definitely appreciate it more on this listen of the album. It's pretty simple musically and lyrically, but I feel like its tone really fits the album quite well. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. I'm actually higher on this than you were. Yeah, this was a completely new song to me. Never heard it until doing my first listen for this album. It's another nice instrumental intro. I kind of put that it's almost like tribal drumming because it's like I don't know, so deep, but it's kind of like there's some synth going on too, so you don't really feel the full effect of the tribal drumming. But
sure,
I'm glad you can pick up on that. It's not as necessarily like positive sounding, but it's upbeat and optimistic. I kind of put. Robert Smith described the creation of the song as a creative exercise to address the physical and mental exhaustion he felt while preparing for this recording.
Probably all the hallucinations.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, you don't sleep when you're on them. Smith originally intended the song to be a list of everything he felt he was losing as he approached age 30. The vocals, again, take their time, though. 204 is where we get the first appearance of vocals. There's not an abundance of lyrics either on this track. However, I think it is really relatable, especially the first two lines. I'm running out of time. I'm out of step and closing down. I think it's kind of relatable. Not 100%. Like, I don't want to make it sound like me and you are depressed, but yeah, I just turned 31 now. And you'll be 31 in less than 4 months. And I think it's normal kind of once you hit a certain age where you just feel like, man, like it's weird. You look back. I mean, we've been friends for almost 15 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. It's crazy to that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I think 15 years ago, I'm thinking like 1996, bud. Like,
right.
So I think it's relatable in a certain way, like a bittersweet way. I'm going to read the whole lyrics because there's not a lot. I'm running out of time. I'm out of step and closing down and never sleep for wanting hours. The empty hours of greed and uselessly always the need to feel again. The real belief of something more than mockery. If only I could fill my heart with love. I like that last verse too. If only I could fill my heart with love, because it's like, man, I don't know. As a kid, I feel like you love more stuff, and then once you get that adulthood, you kind of
some of the glam and the I don't know.
It wears out.
That. Yeah, it goes away.
Yeah, I don't know.
You lose a little bit of that wonder.
The mockery sets in.
That's right.
And you're just trying to fill that void. So I think it's relatable. Overall, I gave it a 3.7, so just a smidge higher than what you had there, Shane. That will take us to track number 4, Love Song. The runtime just a little bit under 3.5 minutes. I have 3 minutes 29 seconds. So this one is a little bit quicker on the intro to give us lyrics. We only wait about 30 seconds before Smith delivers the vocals. It's a nice slow rhythm throughout the song on that 30-second run-up. And I think the music aspect really kind of increases with Smith's vocals. They kind of play off each other really, really good. I think they do that on a lot of tracks. But on Love Song, I kind of find there's phases where the music kind of pulls back a little bit. And that's where Smith kind of slides in and does his thing vocally. So this is a song that I've heard many times before, but I really kind of forgot all about it. As I did much of The Cure, because it's just not really an artist that I would say I'm familiar with or that I listen to often. But this is an excellent driving song, like literally just being in the car driving. I really think I vibed to it like in the last 6 months at some time. I've kind of switched up my radio station, so I'm not listening to the main rock station because they would never play this. I've been listening to just like a mixture of music where this would totally be on the runtime. So I feel like this. I've heard it recently, and I was literally probably in my car, and it's just like I don't know. It's a good driving song with the radios down with the windows down, and I totally vibe with it. It's my favorite track up to this point. It almost feels a little bit studio driven because it seems like a no brainer that this is a hit. And I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm just kind of pointing this out. It's got a shorter runtime, and it's very catchy musically, lyrically. The writing is relatable as well, so I feel like it's just checks all the boxes. The lyrics are definition of repetition, but it works. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I'm home again. I like that. That's a deep line, really, if you analyze it. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I'm whole again. That's good, too. And that repeats multiple times, but I do feel like the deliveries on certain pronunciations change here or there. And the music is low enough where Smith is delivering vocals that you can kind of notice the subtle changes. So that kind of takes away a little bit of the repetition. It's very subtle, but it's just, it can't be the same on every sound. And just some of his, like, I don't know, just the way he does some of his vocals. It's good. It feels very personal. But again, you're getting fed the same lyrics, but the sound kind of changes a little bit. Overall, this, like I said, my favorite song up to this point. I gave it a 3.9.
Okay. So, it's funny because back in the day, there was, whenever I was getting down on like playing Song and Pictures of You, there was a girl.
When was this? What year would that have been?
Like 2015, 2016, something like
Gotcha.
that. But there was a girl that I was seeing, and I put on like 2 songs. I put on those 2 songs, and she was like, "Oh, that's pretty good." So then she went on to listen to some of the shit herself, and she was like, "I really like Love Song," and I was kind of poo-pooing it, but I'm listening to it now. I'm like, yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to tell you I love you, shit.
It's like, no, you don't.
I will always. It's like, well, I love you.
It's like, believe me, you don't. All right.
You can go now. What time are we swimming, Mike?
Leave. Get out of here. Just, I don't know. His name started with a J. Anyway. But yeah, the song opens with a guitar ringing out as the drums and synth hit. They hit alongside it. Song wastes no time getting right into it. Some additional twang guitar comes in briefly before the first verse. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I'm whole again. Coming off the verse, the full instrumentation comes back with what sounds like some very rapid strings. I wasn't expecting that at all. That kind of caught me by surprise. I failed to mention that there's some organ-like keys driving the song melody-wise. At 152, I like whatever words I say. I will always love you. I will always love you.
Whatever words I say.
The vocal is punctuated by the drum breakdown and the keys. We get a guitar solo before we get the third verse, coming off very soft-spoken and vulnerable. We get one more chorus before the guitar hits one more time to close out the song. This is another classic by the band. While it's not one of my favorites per se, I mean, I have to respect it for being a hit by them and being as well made as it is. I gave it like a 3.5. So could have gone higher. It probably deserves to be higher.
Yeah, but I feel like you're saying you never really connected it from Jump Street, so
yeah.
I support it. I ain't mad at you.
So track number 5, Last Dance at 4 minutes and 45 seconds. The song is very spacey in its opening. Between the droning synth, the drums have like this almost like drum machine sound to them, and the guitar that gets kind of buried beneath all of the sound. At 44 seconds, the guitar reaches some highs as it rings out, kind of taking center stage. The extended intro instrumentation sets up a dramatic and kind of dark tone. It's about 1:45 before the vocals come in. I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you remembered to see how we're ending our last dance together. Expectant, too punctual, but prettier than ever. I really believe that this time it's forever. The drums, like, again, they sync up really well with the lyrics, giving them some, like, extra oomph. The song has a lot of emotion poured into it, reuniting with a lost love and realizing the feelings just aren't the same as they once were. Before I can kiss you, a woman now standing where once there was only a girl. The song has an end that is somber and almost kind of defeating. I don't think we would kiss in the way that we did when the woman was only a girl. The girl like drags out as the synth fades out. The song definitely touches on some pretty heavy emotional themes and has some kind of haunting musical soundscapes. It just never like fully hooked me. Again, this is an instance of like I can respect it, but it's not necessarily tickling my fancy. I give it a 3.3 out of 5. You went higher.
Make me sad.
You went much higher.
No, I didn't go much higher. You said 3.3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go much higher. I thought it was another solid musical intro, incorporating a lot of similar sounds that we've heard on previous tracks. Really picking up the speed, though, around the 44-second mark. And it's about another minute past that until we get the vocals. Smith's vocals really seem a little bit more emotional or urgent on this track. More directional, maybe, would be a better way to put it. It just seems to have like more of a point, more of a direction in it's going. The first verse is excellent, rolling off the long minute 45 intro, same as what you quoted. I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you remembered to see how we're ending our last dance together. Expectant, but too punctual, but prettier than ever. I really believe that this time it's forever. Ed Jupp. You remember Ed? Ed Jupp of God is in the TV called it a heartbreaking track, which deals with childhood love that does not survive into adulthood. I really buy into that, though, with the last line, and even if we drink, I don't think we would kiss in the way that we did when the woman was only a girl. So I can totally relate. Like, if I tried to hook up with someone that I dated when I was, or fooled around with, whatever have you, when I was 16, 17, it would probably be really weird now. I'm not going to lie. That would be weird. However, frontman Robert Smith said the song is more directly, and I mean, this is from, the man's mouth himself. The track is about someone you meet and you haven't seen for a long time, and you used to have very strong feelings for them, and you don't anymore. You suddenly realize it's a horrible sensation. I don't have a whole lot for this one. Overall, I think it's a decent track. As far as scoring, to be fair to the previous tracks, I'm going to go with a 3.5 on this. It's nothing great, not really bad either, just kind of so-so for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that will take us to track number 6, Lullaby, with a runtime of 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Again, very catchy on the intro. There's some nice strumming for that first 21 seconds before the percussion falls in line. Some synth starts to hit around the 45-second mark, and the track is really moving along there. Smith's vocals show up around 104. There's a short verse before with the I Spy With My Little Eye, something beginning with an S. But I really don't count that as the icebreaker. This is a song where I really, especially after like watching a snippet of the music video, I could see some psychedelics rolling in with this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, was a little scary.
It reminded me a little bit of Age of Confusion.
Okay.
Yeah, by Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Genesis or whatever.
Yeah, I can see it. especially like where it's at right now, where I'm listening to it. But I thought Smith's vocals
Land of
were...
Confusion, my bad.
Okay, that's probably why I was looking at you so goofy.
So confused.
Who covered? Didn't somebody else cover Land of Confusion?
Disturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They covered a lot of tracks.
They do. They're like, we're not original.
Yeah, they're like, we're just going to fall off of your guys' work here. I thought Smith's vocals are a little different on this one, especially on that first delivery. They're very whispering and quiet. On candy-striped legs, the Spider-Man comes softly through the shadow of the evening sun, stealing past windows of blissfully dead, looking for the victim shivering in bed. Song kind of tells a very gruesome story as the song goes on. Like that was the opening verse. The second verse, his arms are all around me and his tongue is in my eyes. Be still, be calm, be quiet now, my precious boy. Don't struggle like that or I will only love you more. And that verse pretty much ends, like, I think the next line with the spider pretty much eating Smith in this case because he's kind of the star of the music video.
Mm-hmm.
I like the outro, too. Come to my parlor, said the spider to the fly. I have a little something here. The music video for Lullaby, as we kind of talked about, it was filmed on a soundstage in London, England. It features Robert in bed in a dream sequence, and the rest of the band is playing tin soldiers, who sporadically appear throughout the music video for a few seconds here or there. The music video, during which Smith plays both a cannibalistic Spider-Man, quote-unquote, mentioned in the lyrics, and his intended victim concludes with Smith being swallowed by what appears to be a giant spider. Part of the video, which really is all I saw, was on Spotify when I was just listening to the track, and it's just like kind of eerie. Yeah. I didn't actually see the scene of him getting eaten by the spider. I thought this track was a decent change-up, with the way Smith delivered the vocals kind of being more of a quiet, whispered. The music doesn't really pull back as it did in previous tracks to let him kind of take center stage. It's kind of like a 50-50 split. I almost think like the music kind of overpowers his vocals a little here. But I did like it as a change-up. Like we kind of talked a little bit off mic that this album is a little bit repetitive. It's a lot of like a one-track sound, but I did think this was like a nice, kind of breaks it up a little bit. Also later on in the track, there's kind of an addition of some extra strings and a little bit, I don't want to say more synth, but just the synth kind of really does good on this track. I gave this a 3.7.
Okay. So, yeah, I got the song opens with like some layered guitars with some very faint vocals that can be heard. I spy with my little eye something that begins with S. The drums and the bass then come in, giving a slightly funky sound to it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. 43 seconds in, some stringed instrumentation comes in, perhaps like a violin, including some very like plucky bits. Around a minute in, the vocals come in very soft and whispered. It's very like creeping and foreboding. The background to the song and the music video, like both, like really add to the uneasy nature. Looking for the victim, shivering in bed, searching out fear in the gathering gloom. And suddenly, a movement in the corner of the room. There's nothing I can do when I realize with fright that the Spider-Man is having me for dinner tonight. Robert's father used to sing him lullabies with dark twists when he was a child.
That's good. That's good for development.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it turned out all right.
So, ain't the little baby girl.
So it went on to inspire the song. The music video has a lot of really creepy imagery between like Robert being stuck in bed, a almost like animatronic like band like coming in, like their movement.
That was their band, yeah. They were like little tin soldiers.
Yeah.
Some Chuck E. Cheese shit.
And Robert also playing the Spider-Man. The video ends with Robert being swallowed by a giant spider. The song maintains its quiet delivery vocally and musically. Doesn't change up too much aside from the moments when the strings become a little bit more loud and prevalent. And like while it's not something I'm going to find myself coming back to all that often, I can recognize that it has a lot for fans of The Cure to enjoy. And I do appreciate this song and its storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
it is a good storytelling song.
I think it's cool that it like kind of has like this like there's a little bit more to it than just a song. It's like,
Yeah, there's a backstory to it.
yeah, there's
Especially he was told little, these stories. I read that it was his dad, then I also read that it was his uncle, but I'm pretty sure it was his dad.
yeah,
That would make more sense.
uncle coming through often.
Yeah.
Put you to bed.
So you hitting your mom?
So I also gave this a 3.7 out of 5.
Samesies.
So,
and on that note, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and we will be right back.
Track number 7, we have Fascination Streets. There's like a droning squeal that opens the song for a few moments before the rest of the instrumentation hits. The drums hit along with some very funky bass guitar that is a standout musically, with some additional guitar and synth kind of brewing beneath. The guitar having like these brief pops ringing out. When everything comes together musically, it's dark and dire, yet it's still like pretty with some of its synth work. It isn't until 2 minutes and 23 seconds that we get any vocals. The delivery is very desperate, very urgent. Yeah, I like you in that. Like, I like you to scream. But if you open your mouth, then I can't be responsible for quite what goes in or to care what comes out. So just pull on your hair. Just pull on your pout. His vocal delivery becomes more loud and belted towards the end of this line. Coming off the third verse, we get a musical breakdown from 3:22 through until 4:19 for the final verse. We get an outro repeating, down on Fascination Streets, before the music drones out to a close. Going back to what I said about the vocals becoming more loud in their delivery, that is the case from the start to the end of the song. The delivery builds and escalates throughout. I feel like it really adds just to the energy of the song. I gave this a 3.6 out of 5.
Nice. So yeah, I thought it was a little eerie on the intro with that squealing noise you were talking about, Shane. Kind of fades out pretty quickly into more of a typical rock sound. It's a little different sounding to me than the previous tracks. It still hangs on that long instrumental intro, as it's I have it around 2 minutes 25 seconds. I think you said 2:23, but right around there before the vocals show up. Overall, the instrumental is pretty solid. It's catchy enough for me, and it's pretty easy to get into it. It's a little long for me, though, just because I kind of kept waiting on it to break sooner than it does, and I think kind of waiting for 2 minutes is a little long, especially because it was kind of repetitive, and I just kind of was waiting on it to break sooner than it did. There's actually, though, an extended version, notable for its 4-minute instrumental introduction, kind of doubling that, not so much doubling it, but close enough, which is available on the 12-inch vinyl and maxi CD singles, which kind of makes me curious what that would sound like, if it would just be a stretch of more of the same, or if it's a little bit different. I didn't listen to it. But in this version, the song pretty much holds the same sound from the intro throughout the track. The song gives a little bit of a Bowie vibe to me. It's not until about the 4-minute mark where I kind of came to that conclusion. Fascination Street was supposedly inspired by an alcoholic night in New Orleans. You've never been to New Orleans, have you?
Oh.
No, I haven't either. I don't really have a huge desire to go there either. What about you? You got a desire to go there at all?
I wouldn't mind
Bourbon
going,
Street?
just to see what's up, yeah.
I'm sure it'd be crazy. Yeah, it would be kind of cool, though. I'm not going to lie.
Boobies, like,
It's
let
like,
me in there.
get the beads. And one of the... I'm sorry. Actually, in one of the albums that they released, in one of the liner notes, there was a thing where Robert Smith describes Fascination Street as a generic song about the delights of exploring a new city, which is pretty cool, especially the city nightlife is what he was alluding to. Overall, it's not bad, but it's one of my lesser-liked songs on the album. Parts of it I really like, but it's nothing super special to me. I gave it a 3.4, which will move us to track number 8, Prayers for Rain, with a runtime of 6 minutes, 8 seconds. It's a little less synthy on the intro here, and a little bit more bassy, especially after the 20-second mark. Music really drops around the 38-second mark, and again, it's more of a bass line than the previous tracks. A little bit more use of strings on this track. as well, which I really noticed around the minute 12 mark. Kind of giving like a symphony vibe. 20 seconds later, though, it kind of kicks back into like just the signature, what I define as like the signature Cure sound. No Cure sound, I guess. Smith's vocals come in around a minute 45. Many critics, what I read was they praised the song for its depressing tone and also felt the lyrics reflected the frontman Robert Smith's dominating fear of aging, which we kind of alluded to earlier in the episode about us being both around the age
We're
of
at that
30,
age.
which is where Robert Smith was when they recorded this. The opening lyric, "You shout at me, you grip on me, a hold on me so dull it kills," which is, I really like that last line, "a hold on me so dull it kills." Kind of just like saying it's so easy to not do anything when you're not under pressure, where it's just easy to be lazy and procrastinate, which is what I kind of think it touches on. Kind of just like free will being the dull hold and kind of killing you because it's so easy to be sedimentary, not do anything. And I kind of think a lot of people, most people come to that conclusion at some point. You feel like you're just wasting time. Other than that lyric, the "you shatter me, you grip on me, a hold on me so dull it kills," I didn't really pull anything else out that really clicked with me. But there are certain pronunciations that are delivered with a lot more emotion here than what we've typically heard earlier on the record. Even the repeated verse, which is repeated 3 times, the prayers for rain, it kind of really meshes really good with this stringy orchestral music behind it. I wasn't crazy about this one either, but it's not a bad listen, and I liked it more musically than vocally, especially with a little bit more of the strings. I gave this a 3.4.
Okay. So I got there's like a hum that opens the song before some guitar comes in, kind of reminding me of Right Into by Tool. Then some piano keys come in before playing backwards as more guitar comes in before the drums explode at 38 seconds. Some very solid layering of instruments. It really sets a solid tone for the song. After about a minute, some strings come in, or it could like very well be a synth. It sounds a little bit like both. Um, Give me one sec. No guac at the Chipotle, I'm afraid.
I didn't order any guac.
That's okay. I did. I'm just like, let me get the dragon sauce for me chips. Anyway. Then some piano keys come in, playing backwards as the guitar comes in before the drums explode at 38 seconds. Some very solid layering of instruments. It really sets the tone to the song. After a minute, about a minute, some strings come in, or it very well could be a synth. It sounds a bit like both. Naturally, we get to marinate in this music for a bit before the vocals come in just under 2 minutes in. These vocals are spacey and echoed. I suffocate, I breathe in dirt, and nowhere shines but desolate. And drab the hours all spent on killing time, again all waiting for the rain. And I mean the writing is, it's very poetic, but it doesn't I don't know, it doesn't go to some of the places I think it would. I feel like him and I are like on different wavelengths. You know what I mean? Anyway, coming off this verse, the synth and the synth/strings come back in. On the opening lyrics of the next verse, I really like the delivery of "you fracture me." It sounds very devastated. We get another instrumental break before the final verse. It's very simple structure, just going from verse to verse to verse. Song very much relying on its atmosphere in the instrumental sections. The song passed me by initially, but hearing it now, it really grabbed my attention. I love its sound sonically between the guitars, the backwards keys, the drums. It all comes together very well. I gave it a 3.7 out of 5. On to track number 9. We have Same Deep Water as You, coming in at 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Oh, this is what's adding to that runtime a little bit.
Just a full chicken.
The song opens with rainfall before the crack of thunder, followed right away by some drums and bass guitar. After about 40 seconds, the synth comes in, picking up as it goes along as the thunder and rain continue. for an almost 9.5 minute song. I'm surprised the vocals hitting at the minute and a half mark. Then again, I can see why. I mean, the music it's very atmospheric. The lyrics and the vocals are incredibly deep with emotion. These combined just make for a really heavy pairing. It makes sense to want to get the music and the vocals together sooner rather than later into the song. Between the verses, we get some instrumental stretches. The third verse in particular has, I don't know, it's very haunting in the way that like Robert just pours his heart into his delivery. It's slower now. It's slower now. The strangest twist of your lips, but I don't see, I don't feel, but tightly hold up silently my hands before my fading eyes, and in my eyes your smile. The very last thing before I go. We get to the outro. I will kiss you, and we shall be together. The final 3 minutes is an extended musical breakdown. The synth hits these very high peaks. The bass line creeps along, and the guitar rings. The drums thumping and the storm raging the whole time before the music ends and the storm fades out. The song is like, I mean, it's a real trip. This strikes me as like a fan favorite for like Cure fans. I feel like I would have to be in the right headspace to listen to this song on its own, as it's so heavy with emotion and it has such a long runtime. It's a lot, but it's good. I gave it a 3.8 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there, Shane. It is definitely a headspace song where if it catches you in the right moment, it's definitely like my score would be higher. This is for my score at the end. We'll get to it, but it's definitely just as a normal day listening to it. But yeah, in the right space, it's a banger. It's a very deep song. It's a slow drip. You were kind of hitting on the atmospheric vibes of the song. This song was like a hit on their. I don't want to say so much a hit. It was just they played it a lot. They played it 130 times, and it was a staple on the 1989 Prayer Tour. And they would perform it in full. So it was the full 9 minute, 22-second runtime. And they would have some blue-hued atmospheric lighting and strobe effects to simulate a storm, which is pretty impressive for me. First off, just to have the 9-minute song performed, I think that's kind of cool to be able to showcase that. But then having the effects with it, which the opening of the track really makes me think of "Riders on the Storm" by Jim Morrison. It almost sounds very similar in the clip, except there's a fork in the road. They definitely part ways. But no, I thought that was pretty cool that it was such like a long runtime, and then just what's that like seeing that in concert? It's another long intro, but it does pick up a little bit earlier. Around the 50-second mark, the intro picks up a little bit. There's no vocals, but the instrumentation side of things kind of pick up a little bit. There's a little bit more momentum with that. Track opens with the lyrics "Kiss Me Goodbye" right at the 90-second mark. First verse is pretty solid. I thought Robert Smith's delivery is really good here, and it's a little bit shorter. We only have to wait a minute and a half here. But the track opens with the lyrics "Kiss me goodbye, pushing out before I sleep. Can you see I try? Swimming the same deep water as you is hard." And I like that line, "Swimming the same deep water as you is hard." I really started to like. This was the first track where I really liked the writing and kind of appreciated it. Overall, it probably bumped the score up a little bit just based on how good the writing was, I thought, especially paired with Robert Smith's delivery. There's also another lyric, "The strangest twist upon your lips, and disappear, the ripples clear." Just really good lighting. I like that. Like, it sounds like drowning, the ripples clear. I don't know. I thought it was just kind of clever. My only gripe, which I think most people will be in the same boat as me, is it's a really long song. That would be the only thing. But as we were both kind of, Shane said it first, I kind of tagged on, piggybacked with it. It flows good if you're in the right headspace. At this point in the album and the notes, I'm kind of like, The Cure isn't bad at all, but it's not something I put on and crank up really loud. This is just something you'd feel like you'd kind of have on at like a lower volume and just kind of have it going on in the background. But this is a song where I feel like if you did have this album on a low volume, when this song came up, you might crank it up a little bit if it caught you in the right mood, because
Sure.
it's just that good. I'm a little light on it. I could see bumping this up 0.2 more, but I gave this a 3.6. But I could definitely give this a 4 if it caught me in the right time. Moving on though, track number 10. Name of the album, Disintegration. This is often cited as one of the band's strongest songs and a highlight on the album for its intense and repetitive sound. Which I'm reading that, that's copy and paste. I'm not big on repetitive sounds, but this one we'll get into it. It is the second longest song on the album, with a runtime just a little over 8 minutes. 8 minutes, 19 seconds. It's a little bit more upbeat and rockish on the intro compared to some of the other sadder sounding songs, intro-wise. Around 1 minute, 5 seconds, we get some strumming that kind of breaks up the initial instrumentation. Kind of adds a little bit of pizzazz, picks it up a little bit. It's another solid intro, really, which is kind of like going theme here. Is there's long intros. But all of them have been really good. Even like the last time we did Nothing, I kind of mentioned that like yeah, their intros take a minute, but they're all really good. I have no complaints with the intros, other than the one that was a little long. On this track, though, the vocals come in around 1.5 minutes, and they stick with the music in that regard. That everything's kind of upbeat and optimistic, which kind of fades out a little bit. The more you get into the track, he kind of gets a little bit more emotional. Paste actually called it one of the greatest title tracks ever, saying Smith sounds like he is quite literally on the verge of disintegrating. The lyric here, now that I know I'm breaking to pieces, I'll pull my heart out and feed it to anyone. Crying for comfort, crocodiles cry. I like that verse. Again, it's another, this is more on the back half of the album, which we talked off mic, but I kind of thought the front was more, I don't know, just banger heavy. But this one is, the back half is like a little bit better written, I think. So I did like that about this track. And I think it's one of the better vocal performances on the album, which none of them were bad at all. But this is one that's just a little bit more high energy, and I kind of like seeing more of that side of Smith. And the tempo of the track being a little bit more upbeat made a big difference to me too. It's a decent track, not my favorite by any means, but it's probably my favorite off the album that I didn't know about until doing the notes, which is again the beauty of doing the show with you. I gave this a 3.7.
Okay, so I got the song opens with chimes leading directly into the instrumentation, like right away. There's some additional effects, maybe some synth, distorted guitar, and vocalization. At 104, the keys get layered in and pair up alongside the guitar. At 135, the vocals come in. Oh, I miss the kiss of treachery, the shameless kiss of vanity, the soft and the black and the velvety, uptight against the side of me. The second verse is more dramatic in its vocal delivery, more dire, and towards the end of it, also having some like backing vocalization as well. The song also includes a chorus and a bridge, which is nice because there's been a number of songs off this album that decide to forego them. The chorus, I leave you with photographs, pictures of trickery, stains on the carpet and stains on the scenery. Songs about happiness murmured in dreams when we both of us knew how the ending would be. Coming off the chorus, we get some dramatic keys as the synth chugs along. The third verse continues the escalation in the vocal delivery, and that intensity continues through the bridge and the final chorus. We get an instrumental stretch before the outro repeating, "How the end always is," repeats. Before a big crash, and then like the music fades out the last 30 seconds. The song, similar to the last, is, I mean, it's rather long, and it takes you on like quite a journey. I do appreciate the steady escalation throughout the song. The Cure does manage to take these long rung times and pace them out pretty well. Even if I won't necessarily come rushing back to it, I can admire the fact that it's always building towards something. So I gave this a 3.6 out of 5. Coming on to track number 11, we have Homesick coming in at 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Slow guitar, and piano play off each other for the first decent little stretch. The drums come in, and the piano and guitar start to pick up a little, uh, just under like a minute or so, followed up by some wailing synth and orchestral strings. Just steady and solid implementation, getting added in little by little before the bass has a real nasty drop at like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It reminds me of when the bass hits in the song The Same Place. Um, Again, I applaud the pacing. It's over 3 minutes before we get any vocals from Smith, but the song's pace like keeps me invested in the extended opening. The vocals are particularly exhausted and emotionally broken, almost like pleading without really having the energy to put forth a convincing emotional investment. I'm actually really digging this song. It goes dark, which is a shocker to no one, but the music is so like entrancing, and the vocals and lyrics kind of, I don't know, they kind of take a backseat to the music, almost coming off as like another layer added into the instrumentation. I previously mentioned, well, almost coming off as another layer added into the instrumentation. It's something that I had mentioned earlier in this track. Oh, it was sweet, it was wild, and oh how I trembled, stuck in honey, honey cling to me. So just one more go, inspire me, the desire in me to never go home. The song also takes its sweet time winding down. This time, like losing instruments, stripping them away, losing layers, as opposed to adding them on. It's a really solid track. Another just, I mean, it's a commitment of a song, but like 7 minutes, 7 seconds. I give this a 3.6 out of 5.
Many critics found this song notable for its emotional sound and inclusion of piano, which many people, the critics being, felt that it added to its emotional weight. Speaking for me, I'm kind of assuming, Shane, you're in the same boat. Anytime there's some piano added to like dubbed over an original song, or just added in naturally, I think it kind of adds a little bit more emotion. There's also some nice strings added in this track as well. I read on Wikipedia the genre is listed as gothic rock, and I think it kind of hits the nail square on the head with a lot of the album on that. I'd never really heard of that genre before, but it makes perfect sense.
Real shit?
100%. And I think that classification is perfect. So good.
So good.
Hey, hey, just one more walk and I'll walk away. Or just one more and I'll walk away. All the everything you win turns to nothing today is delivered around the 318 mark. That's the first lyric we get. I really thought it was good vocal work here. Smith's vocals are a little bit more muffled on this track, but it kind of fits the overall sound going back to that gothic rock genre. But I think it really works with the instrumentation that's used in this track. I enjoy the musical change up too a little bit. It's still pretty electro synth heavy, but the piano and the other orchestral strings kind of really add a nice touch. The last minute is really solid on this track too, with the string instrumentation that kind of winds down to like a slow fade out. It's a solid track for what it's worth, or for what it is. I gave this a 3.5. I'm not crazy about it, but it was fun. Moving on to the last track. No name on this one. It's listed as Untitled, with a runtime of 6 minutes, 33 seconds. Robert Smith himself has stated that he liked the fact that he left the song untitled, saying he, quote, had the courage not to bother to think of a title.
Respect.
Doesn't that just kind of sound like the ultimate lazy cop-out? It's like, I can't.
Yeah, I ain't got to bother.
Fuck it, Untitled.
Had the courage to do so.
Yeah. It's like, is that what that is? It's like, yeah, my kid don't have a name. I just...
Yeah, fuck him. He'd be alright.
I had the courage not to bother. Name. Bring me the boy.
You can bring me the boy.
Robert Smith also has called this song, quote, one of his favorite Cure songs, which I think is interesting. I think it's pretty chill in the intro. I didn't look what that was cited from. That was just on the Wikipedia, so could be completely wrong, but that's what I read, so I'm going to put it out there into the ether. It's pretty chill in the intro though, with what sounds a little bit like an accordion. I don't know. Anyway, the intro really kind of jumps around the 28-second mark. Again, there's no lyrics here. They come in around a minute later, around the minute 27 mark is what I have. I like the lyric, pushing my face in the memory of you again, but I never know if it's real. Never know how I wanted to feel. I like that. I didn't really deep dive into that or analyze that a lot, but that was one of the verses I picked on and I liked. The song is still kind of mopey overall, but it's a little bit more upbeat and reserved compared to the last two tracks especially. The song also has a nice bass line in the background as well, which I really like the instrumental side of that, the aspect of that. I kind of had myself blocking Smith out. I don't hear it so much on these earbuds, but like my over-the-ear, like fully contrapped songs, I really picked up on the bass line. It's pretty subtle as it is. I'm only listening through one earbud right now, so that's probably playing a role in it too. Once I heard it though, it was a little bit infectious for me anyways. I kind of was tuning out his vocals just to hear that. I'm a big talker about the opening track and the closing track. More often than not, I think I kind of focus more on the closing track because I didn't talk at all about the opening track on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a good, excellent way of like closing the album out. I think it could have. It's not like super upbeat by any means. Didn't like leave me like with a big stride of just wanting to get out, get off the couch or anything like that. But as far as like we're in this album, 12 tracks in, they could go way more depressing than this. So I think this was a job well done. I think it's a good closer. I'm not super crazy about the song overall. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 overall. But I think as far as like closing the album out, I felt like it was good. I feel like the hat's already been hung on the wall, and you're literally grabbing it and you're going out the door. Like I feel like it was a good way to close the album out.
So I got the organ opens the song for about a good 30 seconds before the bass, guitar, drums come in. This continues on until about 1 minute and 20 seconds in. The vocals are introduced with a crash from the instruments, giving them a bit of a pop the way they start and stop and sync up the guitar. Never quite said what I wanted to say to you. Never quite managed the words to explain to you. Never quite knew how to make them believable. And now the time has gone, another time undone. At 3:25, the lyrics of the song like come to an end at this point, and it's all instrumental the rest of the way through. I like around the 4-minute mark, the guitar starts to kind of break away from the rhythm and the rhythm of the song and kind of starts doing its own thing. Around the 5-minute mark, the music gradually quiets and the guitar goes on. And we come back to the organ from the beginning to end the song. I don't have a ton to say about the song, but I enjoyed it quite a bit, particularly the ebb and flow of the vocals and the instrumentation. I would go higher on this track if it had more vocals throughout, but it just doesn't. It doesn't. So I gave it a 3.7 out of 5. Overall, like it might have been like I don't know, maybe I had some like low expectations, but like I've enjoyed a lot of this album more than I thought I would. And it may also be the fact that we kind of like broke this up as much as we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to tackle it all in one go. I can kind of like
slowly digest.
Because I can respect that like the music it's very well written. And like there's a lot of
like the music, how it's composed.
Yeah,
yes.
it's like it's really good.
It's
but I'm not always in this mood to listen to this.
Yeah.
Like it's an acquired taste. You know? Like it's really good, but I don't always want to be here for this. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
So
it's no the National. Like we did the National and I poo-pooed it.
Sure.
I hated it. And I think I almost like turned you around a little bit on it because I was just so like But this was not that at all. It was it's very much so like you were saying, you have to kind of be in the mood to listen to it. But if you are in the mood to listen to it, it's good. Now I was kind of thrown off guard because I really only came into this knowing really off the top of my head pictures of you.
Mm-hmm.
There was the other hit that I was you'd have to refresh my memory.
Plain song?
No, it's earlier.
Love Song.
I would always love you. Yeah, no, that one. I knew that one, but I still always would think of pictures of you. So I kind of had the expectation more of that, where that's I don't want to say that's an upbeat song, but it's a little bit more positive song. Um, so I was kind of I don't want to say thrown to the wolves or anything like that because it wasn't like that, but it definitely was. I'm glad we covered this album for sure. I told you the backstory in the intro of the album that my aunt had this on her computer, and now I feel closer to my aunt.
Hey, there you go.
Look at us. Overall, though, yeah, I don't know if I'd buy this album, but I feel like this is like a good rainy fall day album to put on.
I was going to say maybe this is probably not a summer album at all.
No, I mean you can make it, you could workshop it in, but even like spring, it's like that's too positive.
Yeah.
Even though this doesn't bring me down at all, but I feel like it's meant to be more of a bring down mood.
Sure. Naturally. On to the bonus track. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go first. It's your turn.
Okay.
Boo.
We got The Night We Met by Lord Huron.
Huron.
Coming in at...
Like Huron.
Like Huron.
Oh, Huron. Is it Huron?
You sounded pretty sure of yourself. I don't know.
Well, that's what the band is named after, is like Huron.
Okay. Anyway, 3 minutes, 28 seconds. There's like a breathe in, followed up by some very soft and sweet vocalization as the guitar comes in. It actually kind of reminds me of Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley.
Yeah, now you say that, I 100% see it.
Instrumentally, like, similar vibes. The song takes its time building up, which, I mean, it's funny to say, just because we came off of an album that was like a lot of like, here's 2 minutes and 30 seconds before we get any vocals.
Yeah,
but
settle in, get comfy.
it's like the song's 3.5 minutes
You want
under. And it's
Oh yeah, this is a shorty.
Yeah, I mean,
You want it for the shorty.
but the song takes its time building up this intro, letting us sit in the simple instrumentation, the vocals. I am not the only traveler who has not repaid his debt. I've been searching for a trail to follow again. Take me back to the night we met. We get a pause musically as the vocals go on before the music crashes with the drums and twangy guitars. The song starts to pick up. The vocals remind me a lot of a certain band, but I can't really put my finger on it. Because, like, it's kind of bothering me earlier. I was thumbing through. I was like, who the fuck does this remind me of? Couldn't figure it out. I kind of attribute it to, like, something similar to, like, Camp. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Really?
Just a little bit. Just, like, its simplicity and, I don't know. Anyway. The song is very melancholic, but also nostalgic and kind of soulful. At 2:25, the guitar starts revving up before pulling back as the music starts to soften, and the outro brings in sounds of rushing water. I thought this was a nice bonus. I like that it contrasted the album that we listened to. It also got me kind of curious to see like what's more of their work like.
Nice.
I didn't go crazy high on this. I do feel like a lot of the album was like better made than this, but like this was a much lighter listen, which is just it's refreshing.
Yeah, it was easier to digest.
I'm like, okay, yes, give me that.
Yeah, you're valid in that.
So I give this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. Did you
It made my likes.
Did you like associate the lyrics with anything? Did it ever like strike a chord within you?
Not really.
I was trying to think of it because it seems like a very emotional song to me, like a relationship.
Sure.
I actually saw them 2 weeks ago and they performed this song, so it was very nice seeing that. I was waiting for it. I was like, please just play this song.
The night we met.
Play it, please. And I kind of I think it's more of a relationship song with the and then I can tell myself, what the hell am I supposed to do? And then I can tell myself not to ride along with you. That didn't really 100% click with what I'm about to say, but like the I feel like it's gonna be at some point just like it made me think a little bit about Letty being born. You know, take me back to the night we met.
Yeah.
It made the like hair on my arm stand up when I saw it live. But the line, I had all of you, then most of you, and some of you, and now none of you. I feel like that's just like growing up. That's how I looked at it from like a father perspective. So it really like struck a chord with me. And I mean, I picked this out before I saw them live, but I'm just telling you how I interpreted it after I saw it live. But I thought it was very good. The lead singer, Ben Schneider, was actually like a one-man band for a minute until, there it goes again, until he started getting a little bit more popular and then he incorporated the full band. But yeah, this is definitely, this this song is good. I don't know what it is about it. It was released in 2015. It kind of reminds me a little bit indie sounding, which is crazy because I saw them at Buckeye Country Fest. So I feel like they were a little bit off. And his voice has that effect in it. Now, when we seen it live, he had a telephone booth. I think I told you about it, Shane. But he was like talking into a phone, and it kind of gave that effect to play along with it. I like this song a lot. You analyzed it way more than I did. I don't have anything much more to say. It's been one of my favorites. It's probably my favorite track by them. Even everything they played that day, everything they played was good. I was actually pretty impressed with it. But this was the track I was most looking forward to hearing. I bought the shirt, hit up the merch,
Respect.
got the shirt. But yeah,
Wait, you wore that last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Because I thought we were gonna.
Yeah.
And we didn't. But that's a secret.
Respect.
You weren't supposed to hear that.
Yeah. Forget that.
Anyways, I'm a little higher on this as I should be. It's my bonus pick. I gave this a 3.9.
3.9.
And I could go higher than that because I literally wore this song out. But I don't know. It's taking a little bit different meaning on for me. So, yeah.
Okay.
3.9.
Next week?
Next week, we're going to be stepping back in time, buddy, from both the bonus. You're looking at me like I didn't tell you earlier.
Yeah, right.
That's a secret. You're not supposed to know that. We're going to be doing Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill, which I believe is 1972. I'm drawing that from the waistband. Pew pew. What's the bonus going to be next week?
Next week's bonus track is going to be The Night Will Always Win by Elbow. This has been The Working Hour, and until next time,
don't work too hard now.